Hi everyone, welcome back for another episode of Adams for the Love of Movie Picks. This time around, we're going to be talking about the 2016 film, The Magnificent Seven. Now, this film has got a lot of well-known actors in it. So you got Denzel Washington as Chisholm, Chris Pratt as Josh Faraday, Ethan Hawke as Goodnight, Vincent D'Onofrio as Jack Horn, Lee Bayou, I can't say his last name, Bayou Hung as Billy Rocks. Probably best know him as Storm Shadow in the G.I. Joe movies. Let's see here. Now, I don't know these two personally as actors, but they were pretty good in this movie. Manuel Garcia Roof, I can't even say it, Rolfo as Vasquez, and Martin Sensmeyer as Red Harvest. Haley Bennett as Emma Cullen, Peter Sarsgaard as Bartholomew Bogue, Luke Grimes as Teddy Q, Matt Bomer as Matthew Cullen, Cam Gigadet as McCann, and I think that's pretty much the extent of the well-known actors in this one. So I mean, it's a pretty simple story when you boil it down to it. It's good versus evil, right versus wrong, but it's done in such a cool way. Like these seven guys are the epitome of badasses. For their time, their sharpshooting skills, their attitude, everything about them is just cool. So the basis of the movie, it takes place in I don't know if it's a real town or not. I mean, the story itself, as far as I know, is fictional. But I mean, I don't know if there was ever a real town called Rose Creek. But it takes place in a place called Rose Creek, which has been taken over by Bartholomew Bogue, who owns the gold mine outside of town. But he does more than that. He wants to own all the land and the valley and Rose Creek and everything. And he doesn't care how he does it. Whether or not he buys the land from the people for next to nothing, or if he kills them to get them off it. He does not care. He's hired a bunch of guns. He's got the money to do it. He's got an army behind him, basically. And so at the beginning of the movie, Emma Cullen's character, or the character Emma Cullen, her husband is murdered by Bartholomew. So she, along with her associate Teddy, go to hire first they hire Chisholm, and then he helps them hire the other six, to basically take the town back from Bartholomew. So you go along the way and you meet the different characters, learn a little bit about them, and their backgrounds. It made them who they are. So it's quite entertaining, and it leads up to the climactic showdown. And I got to be honest with you, folks. I mean, as far as not only just like from a Hollywood, big budget standpoint, but just from like an overall, just a entertaining old school movie shootout. And finale, just one of the best I've seen in a while. Especially considering, like, for the most part. It's done in a way to represent the late 1870s kind of Western frontier. I think that's the time frame in which this movie takes place. By the way, is in the 1870s. I forgot to mention Antoine Fuqua directs this, very famous director, so it's well done. But yeah, it's done pretty tastefully. It's not done with, I feel like, a lot of cheesy, stupid effects that aren't concurrent with the time frame. A lot of fancy explosions that don't make sense to the movie. I feel like a lot of what is done is within the time period, and it's realistic, and that's what makes it good, and a highly entertaining finale. Like this whole finale is like 20, 30 minutes long. Like, it's long, but it's good. I'm not going to tell you how it ends so I don't ruin it. But it's really well done, using weapons of the time period. The only explosives are from dynamite that they steal from the gold mine. But the storyline, when you boil it down to it, is what really makes the movie. It's such a simplistic storyline, but it works so well. The old tale of good versus evil, right versus wrong, really plays out in this movie quite well. And you really like the characters because they're good guys. When you boil it down to it, they may have done some bad things, but they are good guys wanting to do do the right thing and free these town people from the tyranny of Bartholomew. So yeah, if you've never seen The Magnificent Seven, I'm kind of sad I hadn't watched it until now, but I highly recommend it, folks, if you've never seen it before. So there you are. That's all we have for this week, and we'll catch you next week for another episode. Take care, folks.